Hello again. Just ended a stream and now I'm going to do a new stream. This time I'm not going to show any pictures. Well, I might show one. We'll show one or two. Uh, Anyhow, we're going to talk about art, what it's like to me, what it's about to me, and a good way to critique art to see the level of quality it is without judging the art. It's better you don't judge art at all, just like judging, you don't judge people. Everybody wants to be treated with kindness. Everyone who wants to be loved, love everything that's art and don't judge it. Just say, oh, that's art. That's wonderful. So every piece, whether it's your baby daughter's scribbles or it's Rembrandt, it's all a masterpiece. The master is the artist. There's no level to that mastery for it to be mastery. It's just you doing your work. In Dadaism, the most famous Dadaist piece was a toilet on its side, and the smudge and the dust on the toilet was written R. Mutt for the signature. And that's to show you that anything is art. It's all a masterpiece. It's not just God's creation, it's somebody's expression. So that being said, how do you critique art if it's all the same wonderful thing that's so beautiful? Well, you have to have a perspective that's organized in a way that you can evaluate the content of the art. So, like, basically, if art's good, it's got more content than if it doesn't have any content, it's kind of plain. So, the toilet on its side had a lot of content, really. It had a lot, it was saying a lot of things with just being a toilet. And so, it can be very simple and have a lot of content. You don't have to the content doesn't necessarily mean you spent 1,000 hours on it or you labored on it for years. It means that it has information, organization, and beauty. That's the way I see it. And the beauty aspect can be something ugly like a toilet, or something mean. It's an expression. The beauty is an expression of visual appeal. Once you put the toilet on the side, if it's an upright toilet, it'd be totally different than a toilet laid on its side. So it had visual appeal, had information. It was a toilet. That was the information. It was the filth of a toilet. And what art had become in Dadaism, kind of like filth, according to that artist. And then the organization was the design of that toilet so that it would function as a toilet. The design of the toilet, the curves and lines and seat, and so that it functions right, or so that it has an appearance that's proper, the white glaze on it, so that you can see the crap on it when it's time to clean it. So let me show you a picture I've got of something that I consider to be good art. There's good and bad art, but that's just content. It's not whether or not it's a masterpiece. So I'm going to pull up one of mine that is a masterpiece that I think has value because of its content, not because of how much time it took, not because of how well it's drawn necessarily, not because of the detail necessarily, but because of its organization, the information on it, and its visual appeal. Okay, has all three going. I'm going to show you a different example. I'm going to show you three examples, probably. This one has all three. Okay, it's got information, the human form, the Greek vase. It's got organization, the way the glaze was applied so that it had the relief showing. And it has beauty. I think it's beautiful. I think it shows the human form, the intersection of bodies, it's sexual. Uh, I think it has beauty, has romance to it. It evokes an emotion from its beauty, its information, and its organization. It has emotion from it. So they work three together in making a whole piece that works not just as a masterpiece, but as something with a lot of content. So the viewer has things to enjoy. Let me show you something that doesn't have as much content. Boring. Just a form, all one color. So it has function. It holds water and flowers. I guess it's not very organized because there's nothing there but two things, glaze and a form. Color and a form. There's no surface design for information. Might be beautiful, might be a form, but there's no information there. You understand? It's still a masterpiece. It's just not something you'd pay a lot of money for. Just doesn't have enough information. Let's see another one that has just information and not as much form. I know one. I've got. Let me pull it up. A plate. Just information, not as much form. Well, no, I don't really have very many that. Here, how about this? Ashtray, no glaze. It's missing things, isn't it? There's no information. There's form, and that's it. Function, that's it. So it has to have information, organization, and beauty. Let me try to give another example that shows a contrast. Another one that has no information. No information. Form and beauty has organization and beauty. No information. Let's show another one that has form, information, and beauty. The information is the Gothic appeal, Gothic kind of appearance with those flying buttresses on those sides. It shows cathedral-like aspects, somehow religious information. Have another one. Let's show another one with all three. That has information on it. The light with the beams on around the rim of it. It's an eye giving out light. It's got detail. It's got form. It's got beauty in the form. It's got beauty in the colors. It's got organization in the glaze. See? Let's look at one that doesn't. No. That one doesn't. Simple. Nothing. No real work involved. Nothing more than the organization of the form. No information. Beauty, but no information. It's kind of hard to remove the beauty or the ugly. That's always there. But form, information, something without form. Kind of an ugly form. Just doesn't look right. Not proportionally appealing. The lips too big or something. Let me show you something that's lacking form, lacking organization. This one lacks organization. Not really organization, lacks information. A lot of my work lacks information. Information takes effort. I don't like to spend too much time on things. I do a lot of organization and beauty, but that's about it. Here's all three. Organized glaze, information of the flower, beauty. So use that for your critique. Don't decide whether you can decide whether it's beautiful or ugly. That's fine. You can decide whether it's organized or not. You can decide whether it's has information or not. But don't decide whether or not it's a masterpiece. And don't decide whether or not you appreciate it. I'll show you what I appreciate that I said was ugly. I appreciate that. Why? It's handmade. It's wheel thrown. It's organic, not really organic. It's handmade, wheel thrown. It has three to it. It has a flared lip you could pour out of it really easily. I mean, I could fill that with wine and pour it out into glasses if I wanted to. It's stable on the table. It won't fall over if I put a big flower thing in it because the bottom is so wide and heavy. It's thick. It's durable. There's a lot of, and it's a masterpiece. I appreciate it, but does it have enough content to where I would think it has a lot of monetary value? No. Let me show you one that has a lot of monetary value, and obviously because I won so many awards with it. It has Aztec information. It has information of like a ship carrying an amphora, which is what amphoras were designed to be done as shipped across the Mediterranean. That's why they made them that shape, so they would stack in the ship and be easy to pour out of. And it's got the amphora for the ship at the bottom, and it's got the information, it's got organization with the way it was made and designed, and it's got beauty to it. And I try to avoid doing ugly things, but look at the S at the bottom. Look, it sits on an S, so you can see the waves of the ocean. Really cool. So there's a lot of information going on that, and it has visual interest, and it keeps you looking at it. Whereas that vase that had the three ripples, you don't want to keep looking at it. It's boring. That's kind of boring. Might be pretty to you, but it's kind of boring to me. Let me show you some cups that are boring, but very functional. They're with a teapot, but I want to show you the cups particularly in the photo. They're pretty because of the glaze. They're not pretty because of the form. They're very functional in terms of organization. There's no information. It doesn't really evoke an emotion other than the firing, the heat of the fire. I mean, it looks molten. So it does have some information. It's molten. So if you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying, that's how you decide what to do to your work as you make it. Oh, I need to put some information on it. Oh, I need to, it's kind of ugly. I need to fix that. Oh, it's not organized enough. I didn't plan this out very well. So the best art starts with organization, not beauty or form, beauty or information. But sometimes you start out with the information, say, I want a theme, you know, and then you organize that theme, and then you do your best to make that theme have pretty colors, have pretty lines, have pretty craftsmanship. Okay. So if you use those three parts to make your art as you make it, you're going to have better content. You're going to be able to explore more and quicker and not be delayed in your next step. You know what you're doing as you go. You start off with theme, or you start off with really theme information. It's best to start off with information. If you don't start off with information, you're just going to go for organization and beauty. And a lot of times I don't start with any information. I just put a blob on the wheel and do something with it, because that's immediate. I love immediate art. Still a masterpiece. To me, it's not valuable just because it's a masterpiece. That's not what masterpiece means to me. To be the master is to be the controller. And for it to be a piece that's yours, it's just anything. The master of your art is you. And you have to see that you're the master of your art, and not that the art is the master. You can't let the art be the master of you. Otherwise, you'll never be satisfied with your own work, or you'll never feel like it's finished, or it'll just be complicated for you. Okay? So to have the right feeling about what you're doing, for me, the right feeling comes from respect from others that love what I do, because it's my career. When people don't support me monetarily with my work, it feels like they don't like supporting my career, or all the time and effort I put into for 30 years. You know, when they ask for a bargain, they'll say, oh, I can't afford that. And then they go buy a chocolate shake at McDonald's and it's the same price. So it is what it is. It's all masterpiece to me, but don't choose the chocolate shake over a coffee mug. Sorry, coffee mugs last longer. Y'all have fun. Enjoy your art. Enjoy knowing you're the master of everything you make. And never let go of creating more. The saddest part of my life is my idleness. It's the saddest part of my life. The idleness of thinking, nobody wants to pay for it. And that's wrong, because you shouldn't do art for commerce. And that's why I've become a teacher. And that's why I've really enjoyed being a teacher in the last year and a half fully. I've done teaching before, but never really had a website and fully done it like this level. So if you want to be start your own art career, be a teacher, so that when you can do your work, it's for you to do art, not commerce, because commerce can be very disappointing in the art world. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed my theory of art and enjoyed making things.